To you. I'm a little bit early, not much. I've been sitting here really eager to get going. Hello to Claire. She says, I can't wait to watch this video. She's tuning in from, I think that's California, USA. Just mastered the macrame bracelet from 2 weeks ago that Natalie demoed. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello to you all. How are you doing? It's a rainy and drizzly day here, but we're going to be making some beautiful necklaces. I'm going to be demoing for you how to make these lovely little necklaces and bracelets too. You're getting enough in your kit to make that lovely set. So they're kind of twisted. They're basically plaited together. Really straightforward to do. It's just some bead stringing, but we've got some lovely different sizes and shapes of pearls for you to play about with today, and some lovely little spaces too. So drop me a comment. What is the weather like where you are? What have you been making? Claire's been making the macrame bracelets. What have you been up to? How's the weather? Are you well? Drop me a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Good morning to Rachel. She says, good morning from Barrow. Hello to you. Stars in. Hello, darling. She says, good morning from Manchester, everyone. And Natalie, well, hello to you today. Hello, Lucy. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning to Sue. Hello to Elaine. Hello to Francis. Camille is in. She says, good morning, Natalie. Yeah, it's dull and drizzly here too. Glad you got back from Kitty's okay. Got back fine. The journey couldn't have been any smoother. I was very delighted. I was home in time for tea or dinner, depending on what you refer to it as. Leslie says it's dull in Peterborough. Mina says good morning to Natalie and my lovely beading family. Sue's been catching up on the sky necklace. Janet says good morning, tuning in from my house and my pet sit in Dumfries and Galloway. Pouring rain, so a perfect day to craft with lovely pets at my feet. That sounds lovely. It sounds quite cozy, very therapeutic. Good morning to Angela. She says good morning from far. It's quite cloudy where she's watching from. Hello to Esther. She says, yay, I've made it. Hello to you, my love. Good morning to Diane, who's in a damp Swinton. Good morning to Dee. How are you doing? Phoenix Creations has popped in. She says, just dipping in to say hi. She's off to collect a new storage and toolbox. And I'll catch up later. Hope everyone's doing fab. And Meg says hi too. Woof, Meg, how are you doing? And yay, got all your storage sorted. So you're going to be doing a lot of organising, and that's really enjoyable when you can get on top of it. Give us some tips once you've done it. How are you arranging it? Are you doing it in colour? Are you doing it by size? Are you labelling things? I really love a good organisation, but you wouldn't know it to look at the space I'm in. It's a mess. Mina says she's been busy making rainbow makes. I've seen some of the makes that you've shared on the Totally Handmade group, Mina. They are beautiful. Hello, Shirley. How are you doing? She's watching from Florida. Good morning to Jan. Angela says just got the chainmail kit, so she's going to be busy doing that when she's finished the rose earrings. Lovely. And Pauline's in as well. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. It's cool but dry here in Bedfordshire. Elaine is in a dull Accrington, and she's been making macrame bracelets as well. And good morning to Joanne, who's in an overcast Coventry, and it's a little bit cooler today. It is a little bit cooler today. Oh, Jan says she's just finished them. Is that the Mabel kits? Lovely. Yeah, my little one today, they're learning about weddings in school. So he's had to go dressed as if he was attending a wedding. And I got loads of little things for him, like suits and stuff. And I'm like, that doesn't fit anymore. This doesn't fit anymore. And also, I don't really want him to go in his best because he comes home absolutely filthy, covered in mud and all sorts. But he looks very sweet this morning. He's got a little waistcoat on and a little shirt and a dicky bow. Good morning to Ruth. Phoenix Creation saying it's bigger than a Morrison's bag and the toolbox sits on top. She's going to send me some photos later. Cute says, Star says, oh, cute. He's a cutie pie. He looks lovely today. And she's also telling Joanne that she's not too far from Mina. So now you're all here with us. We are on Totally Beads. I'm going to take you over to Phoenix Creation says if the kids are clean, something's wrong. It shows he's had a fun day, hasn't he? Hello to Sandra watching from Ghana. How are you doing? Oh, it's lovely. We've got everybody from everywhere. I'm going to take you over to the website and I'm going to show you these beautiful kits. As I say, you are making a necklace today and you can make a bracelet as well. So you've got lots of lovely things in your kit, and we've got, I think it's a 10% off for you. Not too sure how long it lasts for, that offer. I think it's probably about a week. Where is that? Olivia says, good morning from a damp Tavistock. Have I got that right? Am I pronouncing that right? Okay, so over to the website. We are on totallybeads.co.uk. And today, if you head into our video tutorial section and have a little scroll down, we are doing the Felicity Twisted Pearl jewellery. So as I say, it's not just a necklace you're getting a bracelet in there too. I'm going to demo the bracelet with you today. They are exactly the same as how to make the necklace. We're just scaling it down for the bracelet. So I'm using, if I'm doing the necklace, I'm probably using 3 lengths of Tigertail at 50 centimetres. For the bracelet, I'm going to do about 20, just over 20 centimetres, which I think is about 8 inches. And I'm just going to be adding on beads onto each strand separately. So I will show you through the process. I'll show you it step by step, but I'm going to make sure those lengths are equal in length in terms of how many beads I'm placing on there, and then I'm just going to plait them together. So we have for you today 3 lovely colours. They have been reduced. They were £12.99. They're now just £11.69. But you're getting a beautiful necklace and bracelet in that kit. So we've got aqua, lavender and mahogany rose for you today. The aqua is on silver plated findings. Your lavender, which is a beautiful kind of purpley colour, is on the rhodium plated findings. And your mahogany rose is on, I think they're on champagne, could be gold, might be champagne, I think it's champagne. I'll show you what's in the kits now. You're getting all of your spacers, you're getting your culottes, your jump rings, and your clasp and crimp beads in those matching colours in terms of your metal colour on there. So I'll head into the aqua for you and I will show you how it looks. So this is the pretty bracelet that you get to wear, really, really comfortable and very straightforward to do. So you're getting your glass pearl round beads in 2 different sizes. You're getting 4mm and 6mm, and you're also getting to get in the same colour your drop pearls. So they're 6x9, so they're lovely kind of like fat little teardrop shapes, like little tiny pear shapes. They're really, really lovely. You're getting your jump rings, your toggle clasps, your crimp beads, and your Tigertail, and your spacer beads, which are 3mm in size. And you're getting enough in your kit to make a beautiful plaited or twisted necklace, as well as a bracelet. So that's your Felicity today in aqua. Have a little look if you want to exactly what components we're using. We've got those lovely little rope ring 10mm little toggle clasps, which look very cute and dainty on there. They are your silver plated round space beads in 3mm, and they are your different sizes and shapes of your glass pearls, all in the aqua colour for you. So that one is a bargain today, just £11.69. We've also got the lavender. Again, same price for you today. Beautiful purple colour. If you want to have a little look at that, see we're just twisting those kind of beaded strands together. And you can also make your lovely necklace, which is the one I'm modelling for you at the moment. Thought as well as showing you on the bust and down on the mat, it's nice to see how it actually looks on. You are getting plenty of your pearls in this kit, so if you wanted to make it a little bit longer, you can do. You can adjust that kind of size and position depending on your preference. So that one is the lavender. And then we've got this gorgeous mahogany rose. I really love this colour. Just bear with me. I'm getting pop-ups coming up on my screen. It's covering all my information. Go away, pop-up. Ah. Can't get rid of it now. Go away. Let me just see if I can. It always pops up at like the most inconvenient time. Is there a disappear button on that? I don't think you can see it. but it's, there you go, it was right in the way. So this is your bracelet. This mahogany rose colour is beautiful. It's kind of got a bronzy kind of brown to it, but also it's kind of got a, I wouldn't say it's red, but it's very warm. This is quite true to life, actually. The colour you see in here is very similar to what is down on my mat. And this is your necklace. So it just looks really, really pretty. It looks a lot more complicated than it is to make. You know, we're not stitching those strands together. We are just plaiting them, but it creates a lovely kind of twisted effect. So everything you need in your kit today, your 4 and 6 millimeter glass pearl rounds. You're getting your drop beads too, your jump rings, enough for both your necklace and your bracelet, toggle clasps, crimp beads, Tigertail, and your spacers. Again, if you want to have a little scroll down, you can see what individual components are there in your kit. So I hope you like them. As I say, I'm going to show you how to make the bracelet today. Very straightforward. If you want to make the necklace as well, you're just making it larger, but I will talk you through all of that as we go. What have I missed in the comments? Let me scroll back up. Hello, DIY Dream Weddings UK. How are you doing? Pauline says the necklace looks lovely. Thank you very much. As I say, I'll just lower my neckline so you can see that lovely kind of twisted effect. It does sit really, really nice. And because we're plaiting it before we are connecting it back together, it doesn't unravel, it stays twisted. Janice says, good morning from a wet Swansea, waiting on guys coming to fix the roof. Ooh, I hope they do it in the rain for you, otherwise you're going to get wet inside, aren't you? Phoenix has been asking about the E6000 glue. And I did see your message. I know Simon's responded to you there. I tend to use Gorilla Glue, to be honest. There is E6000 glue. There is a new version of it you can buy from lots of different places online. I had a bit of a revelation myself this yesterday. So I'd sent, or attempted to send, a piece of jewellery all the way over to wonderful Australia as a gift for somebody, and I just couldn't track it anymore. And I was like, what's gone on? Why is it not arrived? It should have been there ages ago. And I've actually discovered that jewellery is on the prohibited list in Australia. You can't send any type of jewellery, whether it be precious metals, precious stones, costume jewellery. So if you are looking at, selling your makes or gifting to people and you want to gift worldwide, then do check each customs. I do think it's only Australia that's applicable for, but it doesn't matter what curry you send it with. Apparently it will just get stopped at customs. So make sure you check. Every day is a learning day. Star says it's very pretty. Lucy says, thank you, Olivia, for making me aware this morning. Aware of what? What have I missed? Joanne says the aqua's gorgeous. I think Teresa's asking Phoenix Creations about the glue situation. Sheila says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Hello. Mina says, oh, lovely kits. She's ordered more rainbow kits this morning as well. Hello to Kim. How are you doing? Lucy shared the link for you today. So if you're wondering where to find your kit, head over to totallybeads.co.uk, click in the jewellery making section and the Facebook tutorials, and this is the Felicity Twisted Pearl Jewellery set. So thank you for sharing that for me, Lucy. Kim says it's very pretty. Sue says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Grey and rainy in North Devon today. Mina says Australia's funny about lots of things. I'm aware of things like food and animal products and plants and seeds and, the usual things, but I had no clue about jewellery. So it's always where it's the sender's responsibility. So always check. I wouldn't want anyone to get into trouble. Hopefully I'm not on the naughty list. You live and you learn, don't you? Kat says, good morning. Hello, mummy. Rachel said she had to disappear and put the shopping away. It's been delivered. She's back now. Head over to the website. We've got 3 beautiful colours for you to choose from today, Rachel. And Felicity sounds like a twist, says Phoenix Creations. it is kind of, it is basically plaited, but it looks like it's twisted. Oh, okay. Thanks, Lucy. Thanks for the heads up. She's always on it looking after us. Thank you so much. Right, I am going to take you down to the mat and show you. I will take the necklace off as well so you can see that down on the mat as well. Phoenix Creation says, I love it when Mum watches too. She's my biggest fan. So this is the beautiful aqua. It's really, really pretty. So if I can get in shot and a little bit of focus, I've put these little spaces just on the dropped kind of strand, and I'm stringing on all of the large and all of the small. So for the bracelet, I have done, let me see, I think I've used 44 beads of the smaller sized. Then the larger size, I've used 30, and the drops I've used, I think, 16 with the spaces in the middle. So what that does is that just makes each length equal, and then I will plait them, join them together at the end, and that will stay twisted. We've got that gorgeous little rope toggle clasp on there as well, so it's really straightforward. I just think they add that extra because you've got that twist in your jewelry itself. So I think just having that little twisted rope effect just ties that in really, really nice. Phoenix Creations is loving the beads today. This is your necklace, and you can make that as tightly plaited or as loosely plaited as you want to. It just depends how many kind of twists you want to put into it. This is your mahogany rose set. So you can see that's kind of on the champagne gold findings for you. We've got the lovely spaces again running through, and a very, very pretty necklace and bracelet. Have a lovely day, Phoenix Creations. Take care. Angela says, I tried to do the plaited necklace with thread and it won't work, so maybe Tigertail will work better. Tigertail, I use it an awful lot, as you know, but I just think it's perfect. It's really, really strong, but you've got that kind of flex to it as well. Excuse me. I will take off the necklace so you can see that down in the lavender colour as well. So this is the beautiful twisted necklace. And they go on really, really easy having that toggle. You haven't got a fiddle about too much. So this one is your lavender, and that is your bracelet. So you can see it's a beautiful purple colour. Really, really pretty. Look gorgeous against that rhodium as well. I'll hold the mahogany rose up again just so you can see the tone on that, because it's very, very pretty. So hopefully we've got something for everyone. I appreciate we don't have a pink one, which I know Lucy's going to be like, where's the pink? But change it up a little bit. She does say these look gorgeous. Thanks, Lucy. Right, I'm going to pop them above my screen so I've got a little bit of focus. So for my bracelet, I'm cutting 3 lengths of my Tigertail at about just over 20 centimetres, which is about 8 inches. If I'm making my necklace, I'm going to cut 3 lengths at about 50 centimetres. Diane is asking, how many strands of each do you get in the kit? I'm thinking, Diane, possibly 2 strands of the round beads. The drops, you'll probably have enough on 1 strand, but I'm not too sure. I have worked it out with the warehouse, so you will be getting plenty in there, enough to make 2. And you'll probably have some left over as well if you did want to extend that and make it a little bit larger. Angela says they are lovely colours. Teresa's liking the mahogany rose best. Patricia says, good morning, everybody. I love these. I've got to have them all. They are a bargain today, Patricia, and you are getting a discount on them. So don't forget, when you're looking at these kits and you're thinking £11.69 for a beautiful necklace, you are getting enough for a bracelet as well in there. So a really good value kit for you today. And we have got that discount, which usually lasts about a week, I think. Camille says, it's a bit late. Natalie already beat you to it. What have I missed? What have you beaten me to? Okay, so I'm going to start off with 3 strands of my Tigertail. I'm just going to demo the bracelet for you today, but the necklace will work exactly the same, just larger. So I'm going to slide my Tigertail all 3 strands through the culotte or the clamshell, whichever you refer to it as, at the end of my tiger tail. And then I'm going to get 2 crimp beads out because I want to double crimp. So these findings in this lavender colour are all rhodium. So I'm just going to slide a couple out on my desk, and I'm going to pop all 3 strands through that crimp bead. Now, if it's easier for you to do, you can stagger them. Sometimes if you hold them all together, I can't keep hold of that one today. You will find that you might get 2 through and then the other one doesn't go through. They will all fit. You can just stagger them just so it's a little bit easier. So I've slid that culotte and crimp beads onto all 3 ends of my tiger tail strands. And I'm going to pick another one up too. And then I'm just going to take a pair of pliers. Okay, Camille was saying about the pink. I got there first. Pauline says it's difficult to choose. They're all very lovely colours. I mean, I always tend to go for blues, but actually I think I prefer mahogany rose. It depends what you're wearing with it, doesn't it? So I'm sliding that crimp bead up and I'm flattening it down. We have a bit of focus. There you go. And I'm sliding the other one that I put on first right up to that last one. And I'm going to flatten that down as well. So I've got 2 flattened crimp beads, which are going to hold those tiger tail pieces in place. I'm just going to come on very gently, just trim those little end bits off. Good morning, Mandy. How are you doing? And then going to slide up the culotte so those crimp beads will sit inside of the culotte, that rounded bit. I'm going to fold it over with my fingers first, and then just a little bit of pressure gently onto the culotte just to close that over. So it should look like so. I'm now going to add on 3 of my spacers. So we've got 3mm round spacers for you today. Again, these are going to be matching the rest of your findings. So these are a lovely kind of rhodium colour. I'm going to take all 3 ends of my tiger tail and I'm going to slide 3 of the spacers onto all 3 strands of my tiger tail. And pushing them right up towards the culotte. So this is kind of going to bring them all together, and then I can open them out and work individually on each strand. Now, again, you're getting plenty in your kit today, so if you wanted to, I've made them so I'm adding on all of one size onto one strand, all of the smaller onto another strand, and the drops with the spacers in between on the other. However, if you wanted to, you could mix them up. So you could do large and small. You could do whatever you wanted with this. I've created this pattern and design with it, but you're getting plenty in your kit, so you'll be able to play around with that if you choose to do so. Okay, I'm now going to separate out my strands. So I'd like to keep those spacer beads kind of at the top, and I'm just going to move them out so they're in whatever order. Now, it doesn't matter which way round you do these. If you are going to keep it like me and you're going to use all of the drops and spacers on one, it doesn't matter if you put them on the outside, the inside, the middle, whatever. You can choose which way round you want them to go. There's a slight delay on my my hands, so hopefully the camera will keep up. All I'm doing is just looking at what order. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm not quite in shot today. I'm kind of all over the place. I think it's because there's the delay. It's kind of catching me off. Sue says, I always have difficulty lining up the holes on my culotte. Any hints, please? I always close it over with my fingers first. So just so I can kind of get it lined up properly. If I can see by kind of bringing it over a little bit with my fingers that it's completely unlined up, then I can just open it out again and try and readjust it. Obviously, if you're opening and closing these lots and lots and lots and lots of times, it will eventually weaken that part of it. So I always try and do it slowly and gradually, just so I can kind of see by eye. Like, this is perfectly lined up today, but sometimes it doesn't quite bend right in the middle. And then with my pliers, I tend to kind of give it a little push and maneuver it. Sometimes you'll see me put the jump ring in before it's fully closed, just so I can line it up if it looks like it's not going to be perfect. But I'd just say go slow with it and it should work. Hi Esther, she's back. She's had to make a cuppa. I haven't got a cuppa with me today. Andrea is asking, where do I buy the kits, please? Andrea, head over to our wonderful website, which is totallybeads.co.uk, and you will find in there a section called Learn to Make Jewellery. Here we go, I'll show you the link again. And then just click on the Facebook tutorials. This is Felicity Twisted Pearl Jewellery, so you can find it there. We ship worldwide, so you'll be able to change your currency if you need to, and you'll still get that discount if you buy those kits soon. I think it's 10% off today. So I'm just checking which way my strands are lining up. I'd like them to kind of be fairly flat, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna add and twist. They will move around a little bit, but we're going to be plaiting them at the end anyway. So what I am going to use while I do this is I'm going to use my trusty bead stopper, if I can find where I've put it, and that's just going to make sure that it's not going to fall off the end while I'm adding my next strand on. So I'm going to start with the smaller pearls in my kit to begin with, and I'm going to add 44 onto this one. Again, it doesn't matter, you can add more or less. I just want them to be equal in length to each other. So I've counted them out for the bracelet. What I would do is, if I'm making the necklace, I would just thread them all on and kind of line them up, so you know what size you're going to want your necklace to be, in terms of, usually you might want it to be, so many inches or whatever. So I would just, you're not going to lose much length when plaiting them, but I would just kind of line them all up first together when you've strung all of your beads on in the order that you want to, and just check that they're kind of equal in length to each other. And you can kind of play around with that again at the end if you need to take the odd one off or add some extra ones on after you've kind of plaited it. So I'm just really easy bead stringing, just sliding those beautiful smaller lavender pearls onto the strand. Elaine says, looks like I'm testing Tigertail. Is that right? Are you going to give it a go, Elaine? So this is your Tigertail that I'm using. I think it's nylon coated, very thin strands of wire, as far as I'm aware, and it's coated in this kind of nylon coating. So it gives it that very strong durability, and I just find it perfect for pretty much any make. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily stitch with it if you're doing a stitch beading project, but any beads you're going to be using, it doesn't matter on the size or the weight of them. Even if you've got something quite heavy, these are just glass pearls, so they're not heavy at all. But because you've got that strength in your Tigertail, it means you can string pretty much anything onto it. It holds its kind of shape, so it's you're not really going to get kinks and things like that in it. And if you do, you can just kind of smooth it out between like your fingernails or something. Sometimes it can be a little bit curly when it comes off your reel, but it's not like when you're using the nylon thread. If I'm using a nylon thread, I have to put that in a little bit of warm water for a few minutes just to kind of unkink and unravel it a little bit. but I do love Tigertail. It also means that I get to use a lot of the same findings that I'm quite confident with. So a crimp bead is perfect. It's like it's made for Tigertail. If you're using things like elastic, then you can't really use a crimp bead on it because you're very likely to kind of split it. Whereas this is very strong and you can crimp onto it and it's going to hold everything in place. So I've added on my smaller pearls, and I am just going to pop a little bead stopper just onto the end of that to begin with while I add on my next strand. So let me just move them out so I can see which my middle one is. You can see it does cross over a bit, it really doesn't matter. Now with the slightly larger pearls, I think these are your 6mm pearls, I'm going to be adding on about 30 of these onto the strand, and I'll show you in a moment. I'll position them next to each other so you can see they're kind of roughly the same length. Again, it doesn't matter if you want to put your larger pearls, like your 6mm pearls on the outer strand, or you want to put them in the middle. Oh, thank you, Camille. She says, don't forget the hearts and thumbs up for our wonderful Natalie. I really do appreciate that. That's really kind of you. Thank you. And Jan is already on it. She's clicked the like button. She says, I love this design. Such gorgeous colours. They're just so easy to make. Star says she loves the pearls. I love a glass pearl. You know, why do I love a glass pearl? Because you get the beauty of a pearl at a really reasonable cost, and you also get them in like every single colour and shade imaginable. So whatever projects I'm putting together, my first point of call when I'm down at the warehouse is the glass pearls, because I know regardless of what size I need, I'm gonna find colours that look beautiful together. So I've chose 3 colours today because I know I'm gonna have the same colour and tone in the different sizes and the different shapes. But you know, you could mix up the colours if you wanted to. I thought this would look nice with all the same colour pearls. So for example, all the lavender or all the aqua together. But that's why I tend to go for the glass pearls, because, well, we always have a lot of stock of them. Sometimes I'll put things together, kits together, and then we might have enough for me to kind of demo with and show you, but we won't have enough to kind of sell in large quantities for you all. And then it's kind of not the point, is it? The whole point of it is that, you know, you can make along with me, and whatever I'm making here, you'll be able to make exactly the same thing, or change up your design if you wish. But you know basically what you're getting. So sometimes when things do go out of stock, it might be just because we're missing a particular size in that colour or whatever it is. And we can sometimes substitute, so it might be, well, we'll be able to give you this colorway instead, but that's sometimes why I don't always have a lot of color choices with certain makes, but a pearl, you're going to get all sorts of everything. So if I just hold these up together, try and get these in shot, you'll see when I push that right up, they are pretty much the same in length. So that's why I've added on what I have. So 30 of your slightly larger, 44 of your small. And then for this one, let me just pop my bead stopper on this end because I don't want it to fall off. Also, just going to get my lint roller and just get rid of some of that little bit of coating on my desk. So bead stopper is really handy because you can pick it up and move it and you're not worried about them falling off. So for this one, I'm going to put on these beautiful little drops. I'll show you the shape of these because they're just so sweet. Like tiny little Easter eggs or something. Fat little pears. They're just gorgeous, lovely shapes. What am I missing in the comments? I don't know. Mina said she always calls the warehouse to check if something's out of stock and if they have Simon updates the stock. Yeah, they're really good and really, really quick to react if I do ever miss something. If something goes out of stock, but you do need to be quick, especially when we have these lovely little discount offers on. You know, you might be watching this video in a few months' time and that discount might not be there, or a colour may have gone out of stock. So get them while you can. Okay, I'm going to start with one of the drops and I just want them all to go in the same direction, so it doesn't matter whether I pop it on this way or the other way, but I do want them all to run in the same direction. So for now, I'm just putting them on kind of pointy end upwards, and then I'm going to put a spacer. So I'm going to start just threading these on. I want my pearl drop to be kind of surrounded by a spacer in between. Really straightforward kind of pattern repeat here. Just pearl drop and a little spacer and a pearl drop. So I'm making sure they're all going on in the same direction. That is, again, just my personal preference. You might want to change it up. I think a lot of you are liking the kits today, which is lovely. Esther's asking, what is my mat made of, please? This is just like a little fluffy blanket. It fills my whole desk. I've just folded it over. I just wanted a white background just so it can show up. My table is like just wood, so sometimes that can affect the view on camera. So it's just a cloth. You can buy Totally Beads do beading mats, which are really, really lovely. They're kind of like a fuzzy kind of fabric, and it's just really easy to pick things up off them. But it does depend what I'm making. If I'm doing a wire based project, I often use a hard surface to shape my wire. So I can use this tablecloth, but I tend to just use, if I'm making, usually, to be honest, tend to use just a tray, like a like a dining room kind of, well, not dining room, like a TV dinner tray. I will tend to just kind of use something like that, because I'm usually watching the TV along with whatever I'm making. But a hard surface usually for wire work, anything you want, whatever is comfortable for you. Couldn't tell you what fabric it is. It's not expensive. Lucy has shared the link to the beading mat, which thank you for that. So if you need any kind of jewellery supplies or tools, I think we're going to be getting a few new bits and bobs in as well, because I know a lot of you are always asking like what pliers I'm using, what brand of pliers I use. I know Laura, when she was doing her gorgeous make on Wednesday, she was showing the kind of jump ring openers. And I think they were less than £1, weren't they? So we are able to supply tools at a really good price, because obviously, we will kind of bulk buy them in, so you get to receive that discount, so to speak. Elaine says, I've got trays all over with half finished projects on. Yeah, see, this is what I try not to do. I sometimes think if you've got beading trays, you're more likely to just put that down and then start something else. I have all sorts all over my desk, and then when I come to make something like for the next live, I'm like, right, I've got to tidy up. So it forces me to put away my bits and bobs to make space for the new one. Okay, I'm finishing with one of those pearls as well, and not a space, I'm just finishing with a pearl. So they all should roughly be around the same length. Now, this is the tricky bit. It's really easy to plait, but you want to make sure that your beads don't fall off. So what I'm doing is I'm holding them all together at the end, and I'm giving it a little push up, so they're just going to all sit next to those spaces at the top. And now I'm going to plait. Now I say it's the tricky bit. It's not. It's just I'm going to be lying this flat to show you. So I'm hoping it goes well with me being at this angle. Good morning, Tutu. How are you doing? So when you're plaiting, just like plaiting hair, I'm not good with hair. I'm not good with braids, as you can see by my head. So I've just left my strands out, and I'm literally going to be just bringing the outside one into the middle, outside one into the middle. So I'm going to take it and position it there. I usually keep hold of all of them while I'm doing this, but just to show you slow, I'm gonna let go. So outer one into the middle, then again left into the middle, right into the middle. Now they will move because they're not fastened on, so every now and again I'm just going to give it a little push up to make sure there's no spaces starting to form. You can keep hold of all of them at the same time if you want to. You just have to pinch a few in between your fingers. And you can make this as tight as you want or as loosely plaited as you like. And then just kind of reposition it a little bit with my fingers just to make sure I'm happy. But you can see there I'm starting to get that little bit of a space. So I will push them all back together before I attach them on at the end. So I'm just bringing them out and in and out and in and out and in. So I do prefer to hold them all together while I do it, but I want to make sure I'm showing you clearly. So when I've pretty much got to the end, I'm going to pinch them all together. So I'm holding them just between my finger and my thumb. And then with my other hand, I'm just going to go back through. And again, I'm just going to make sure there's no gaps. So I'm going to follow along that path of my 6mm pearls and push them down. And again, doing the same with each one, because as they kind of cross over each other, they create sometimes a little bit of space. I'm going to hold it up so you can see. Can you see here? There's a space between those two pearls where the smaller pearls have gone through. So I'm just going to give them a little slide up. And I'm just going to check them by eye before I fasten them on together. And you can work on your twist as well here. So if I feel like I want it kind of a little bit more loose, I can just adjust that with my fingers. If I want them a little bit tighter, then I can just keep plaiting. So I'm feeling fairly happy with that. I'm just going to give it another little look. You can just take your time with this bit. And then I'm going to push them up so they all kind of end again around the same place. Now I might look at this now and think I could do with one extra pearl on that one. If you wanted to, you can just take that strand out and add an extra pearl on. I just kind of want them to finish around the same size. Dropping that one back in, holding it in place. So give it a little pinch together, check you're happy with the shape that you're creating. Now I'm going to hold all those ends together and I'm going to add on 3 more of my 3mm spaces. So they're going to start and finish the same. So you can see here, I started with 3, and that's just going to bring all of those strands in together. So again, don't worry if your pearls move a little bit. I'm going to give them all a pull, all those strands a bit of a pull once I've added on my spacer beads before I fix them together with the culotte. Lucy says this looks so pretty, she's going to give it a go. Just something a little bit different, but still really, really easy to create. A lovely little effect. So I've added on my 3 spacers. You can see I'm just staggering the ends of my Tigertail there just to make sure I can get them through. And then one by one, I'm just going to give it a little pull just to make sure that they're running nice. Again, you can still mess about if you wanted to make them looser, or you wanted to make it a bit, tighter. You can just play around with the tension on that. So once I've got those pearls, you can see they're up close now to those spaces. There's no big gaps in it. I'm then going to find my other culotte, and I'm going to put the culotte. There's a little hole in the bottom of my culotte or clamp shell. There is such a delay on my hands. And I'm going to slide the Tigertail, all 3 strands, through that hole. And I'm going to make sure that I put it on this way so it's facing out those little kind of eyelets at the end. Gosh, I'm still threading that on and I've finished ages ago. Take care, Esther. She's beautiful beads. Love the technique. Thank you. You are most welcome. I'm now going to take another 2 crimp beads. So first of all, I'm just going to slide one on to all 3 ends of the Tigertail. And again, I'm going to give it a little push. This is my last pull and push. So pulling them all individually, just very gently, just to get that tension right. Once I flatten this crimp bead down, providing I do it right, it's not going to move. So I want to make sure I'm happy before I get to this stage. And then I'm just flattening that little crimp bead down. Am I in shot? Oh gosh, it's such a delay. I don't know whether you can see, but I've just flattened the crimp bead down inside of there. I can't see if it's in shot because it's such a delay. I do apologise. When it is in shot, it's not always in focus. Right, I'm now going to slide the other crimp bead on, so I'm double crimping for extra strength. And I want to make sure that these are fully flattened down. If they're not, there's a good chance that it will come loose. So again, having that Tigertail means I can crimp that bead nice and flat, and that's going to hold it in shape and keep that culotte steady in place. Now I'm going to come in with my cutters and I'm going to trim any excess Tigertail off. And again, closing it over with my fingers first. So we'll do this slowly together. Could have done with trimming that a little bit more. But providing it fits inside the culotte, we're okay. So I'm going to close it over with my fingers very slowly just to check it's lining up. Now it looks like it's lining up perfectly to me. So I can just keep going with that. Checking these little holes are lined up, and then with a pair of pliers, very gently, I'm just putting a little bit of pressure onto those kind of rounded shell kind of shaped parts, so that will form a flat clothes. And now all I've got to do is add my jump rings on and my clasp. So we've got this beautiful little rope toggle clasp. It's very, very sweet, really, really lovely. Thanks, Lucy. It's just because there's such a delay. I'm like, am I in focus? I just don't know. Star says she loves it. It's so pretty. Thank you, my lovely. Right, to open my jump ring, I'm going to take 2 pairs of pliers. Any pliers other than your round nose. Flat nose, chain nose will do. And I'm holding quite a lot of the surface area with my pliers, just where that little kind of opening is on my jump ring. And I'm just going to give it a little twist towards me or away from me, just to open. So you can see there, I've only opened it up like a few millimeters. Can you see? There you go. Now, if I'm opening it outwards, I'm going to start to store in that shape. So I never open my jump ring that way. It's always away from me or towards me. The more you open and close them, again, you're going to start putting a load of pressure on that little part there, and that's going to start weakening the jump ring, but also distort the shape. If I just open it by a few millimeters away or towards me, I can slide that through the hole in the culotte that I've got nicely lined up. Oh, Andrew says she's ordered a couple of kits. Lovely jewellery to make. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really appreciate that. And then I'm just going to add one part of my toggle clasp on. And then again with my pliers, I'm just going to turn it away from me or towards me. So if I turned it towards me when I opened it, I'm just going to turn it away when I close. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it slightly past the point where those two parts of the jump ring meet. So when I let go, it springs perfectly and fully closed, and there's no gaps in that. Anyone who watches me regularly will know I get very excited by the sound of a click if it kind of clicks together, because I know it's perfectly done. But they don't always click. As long as you can see there, I've got it out of the pack. And although it's closed, it's not fully lined up. So you can see when you make a jump ring, it's made from wire on like a dowel, and it's coiled round and then cut. So they'll never be, very rarely you'll get them out the pack and they'll be perfectly closed already. You just want to give it a little twist to open, slide that on through, add the other part of your clasp on, and then bringing it away from me this time, just slightly past the point. Jan says, I've ordered all of them and they've already been dispatched. Oh my God, can't wait to receive them. That's amazing. Thank you, everyone at the warehouse. What a speedy job you do. Robin says, what a beautiful necklace, Lady Natalie, given so much inspiration for variations without a lot of complexity. So this is your bracelet. In fact, I'll measure this one out with the ruler so you can see what length I've got this to. You might want to add on extras if you need to. With the clasp as well, this is coming up at about 8.5 inches. So in centimetres, I do my bracelets in inches. It's about 22 centimetres. Funny, when I'm measuring things out, I'll say use 50 centimetres of Tigertail for a necklace, and then I'll measure it and be like, so that's this much or this much. So you can see this is probably going to be a little bit big for me because I've got small wrists, but I wanted to make sure there's enough in a kit for an average size necklace and bracelet. Your toggle clasp's really easy to put on. I'm just popping the little bar through the circle, and you've got that lovely, lovely bracelet. It is a little big for me, but you can see that beautiful little twisted effect. I will bring you back up and I will model the necklace again so you can see how that looks on. Thank you, Tutu, appreciate that. So just so you can see how easy they are to wear, and they're gonna hold that twisted shape because I've twisted them before I've joined them together at the end. Robin, they're bracelets and necklaces. You're getting a kit in this. You're getting both in your kit rather. Not got any earrings in there, but you never know. You've probably got a few left over if you want to make earrings too. So this is the beautiful lavender one with the matching bracelet that I've just made. It's very big, that bracelet. I don't know, well, I do know why. I always think I don't know why a demo and not to my size, so I get to keep it, but I want to show you how many you would use and the length that you would probably do. Lucy says you've got super tiny wrists. I did a project going by your size the other week and it came up a child size. Yeah, I think it's about six inches, my wrist, maybe. Yeah. My waist isn't. Sheila says looks very pretty. Thank you very much. This one is your gorgeous aqua. Oh, thank you so much. You're all being very kind. So your toggle is really easy to use. Like usually when I'm fastening a clasp on, I turn it to the front and then flip it round. You don't have to do that with your toggle. This one I've made a little bit smaller so it sits higher up. I think it looks nice. It's not quite a choker, but just on the collarbone. Pauline says she's got tiny wrists too. I mean, I always say I'm making it to an average size, but I don't really know what an average size is. I always err on larger. So if I'm putting a kit together, I'll always go for the larger measurements, and that way I know you've all got enough to do whatever you want with. Tutu says that's my colour, and Kim says beautiful. That one's the mahogany rose. I love that one. They're just so pretty and really, really comfortable to wear as well. They're not heavy at all because you've got those glass beads with them. So each kit, let me take you back over to the website. So if, like, I can't remember who was asking before, where do you find them? Head over to totallybeads.co.uk. These are the Felicity Twisted Pearl jewellery. You're getting enough in your kit to make a necklace and a bracelet at just £11.69 today. So you've got, I think that's a 10% discount you've got there. They should be £12.99. They're all in stock at the moment. But don't wait round. If you love them, do get them. I hope you've enjoyed making along with me today. I've really enjoyed making them. They're really, really quick, nice makes. Camille says, me too, small wrists but big everything else. Rachel's giving me all the hearts. And thank you, Lucy shared that link again. So depending on what you're watching on, if you're watching on Facebook, I think you can just click on that. If you're watching us on YouTube, then you might need to just head over to a search engine near you, or a web browser, and just type in totallybeads.co.uk. We've got all the tutorials that we've done for the last, well, I've been here 2 years now. So how long have we... Kitty did it all the way through lockdown, so there's hundreds of tutorials there. Thank you, Star, you're most welcome. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Jan says, thank you, Natalie, for another gorgeous make. Thank you so much. So today is it Friday? Yeah, I'm all over the place because I was away on Monday at Kitty. So I will be back with you on Monday. I think I'm making bracelets on Monday. I've got loads of lovely things in store for you. Yeah, Kitty says Lucy says over 3 years now. Well, I've been 3 years. No, I've been 2, haven't I? Yeah, I started in the summer of 21. Gosh, I don't know. Where does the time go? Every day, just it's flying by. Time flies when you're having fun making. So please come and join me on Monday. Laura will be back with you on Wednesday, and I'll be back with you again on Friday. So have a lovely, lovely weekend, everybody. Stay making, stay happy, and I'll see you all soon. Take